Ending the Edgeathon, we're going to be taking a look at a Batman game. Why a Batman game? Why not? Batman in recent years has become the staple of what is considered dark and edgy, and what better way to keep that edge sharp than by going into the loony bin. This is Batman Arkham Asylum. Arkham Asylum is the first of 8 Batman games in the Arkham series, releasing in 2009. Which, to be honest, I didn't think that there were that many, even if some of them were ports. Arkham Asylum was also the first time I was able to take the concept of the Batman seriously. Because, let's face it, Batman is just a really pissed off rich guy in a ridiculous looking outfit. And it also didn't help that my first experience with Batman came from Scooby-Doo meets Batman and Robin, where it featured a similar and far less serious Adam West Batman design. On the plus side though, not only is Arkham Asylum featuring a tone that's reminiscent of the Tim Burton Batman films, but also voice actors from the animated series Batman lend their brilliance here as well, including Kevin Conroy, Arlene Sorkin, and Mark motherfucking Hamill. The story of Batman Arkham Asylum is as straightforward as, well, a Scooby-Doo cartoon. The Joker, under his alias Jack White, funds a doctor within Arkham Asylum to develop a formula called Titan, using Bane and the venom flowing through his body as the base. The resulting Titan gives Bane quality enhancements to the person injected, only in much smaller doses. After Dr. Young discovers the instability within the Titan formula, she halts the project, angering Joker. The Joker, in response, sets fire to Blackgate Prison and lets himself be captured by Batman so he and his goons from Blackgate can take over the asylum and finish the Titan formula, all under the disguise that Joker has set up a party for Batman. One hell of a party indeed. Arkham Asylum largely focuses on 3 styles of gameplay: stealth, combat, and puzzles. This sounds like a total clusterfuck, but when your hero is an angry, muscular detective dressed as a creature of the night, it begins to tie in together. Most enemies that Batman fights are just low-level thugs. Some have knives, others have tasers, and some are just batshit crazy. Literally. There are also Titan-enhanced enemies, but a simple batarang to the face while dodging takes care of them quickly. It's the thugs with guns that you have to be afraid of, because they'll mow over Batman's health until he guanos in his batsuit. That's where the stealth comes in. Batman's detective mode can inexplicably see enemies through walls and tell if any of them are armed. If they are, then those are the priority targets until you can take on the rest of them in hand-to-hand combat. The combat is pretty unique in terms of general fighting. Sure, you can be like most and button mash, but that doesn't really get you very far. Timing and reaction is everything in Arkham Asylum, as it gives you more experience, lets you perform takedowns, and overall just deals with the various thugs in the most efficient manner. Batman's detective mode also helps him identify vents and weak walls which he can either use for stealth or find a hidden secret, usually something involving the Riddler. Yes, it wouldn't be a Batman game without some supervillains, wouldn't it? The Riddler is one such boss that probably has the most spare time, because he's planted riddles and trophies all throughout the asylum for the sole reason of inflating his own ego. There's really no point in doing these Riddler challenges unless you're either the completionist type or to prove to this basement dweller that your schlong is bigger. To be fair though, at least going after the Riddler does give you a lot of experience just by collecting the trophies as you progress, which can really help with the upgrades. The upgrades and tools Batman gets are as standard as upgrades come, mainly to help make Batman's life easier and to solve new puzzles. All except for the explosive gel, which, come on, how does this not kill people? Arkham Asylum's gameplay is an odd blend of various gameplay styles, but because it's Batman, this blend really does work. It's a game that really does challenge you, not just by your ability to punch things, but also how you go about clearing a room without being seen. The other great thing about Arkham Asylum is the setting, an old, decrepit asylum. Arkham Asylum itself does feel like a madhouse, and the game does like to fuck with you, especially during the Scarecrow segments where the game looks like it actually crashes at one point. That and the game still does have a lot of humor, both from the thugs as well as the Joker himself over the intercom. So what's the bad stuff about Arkham Asylum? Well, aside from the insane backtracking just to get all the Riddler trophies, the variety of enemies and bosses are so one-note it's ridiculous. If it wasn't for the stealth and puzzle aspects Arkham Asylum has, this would be an extremely boring game even with the improved combat system. You're basically a factory worker in the ass-kicking department, so thugs come in, you beat them unconscious, rinse and repeat. And the bosses are probably the worst thing about the game. What do you think of when you hear the term boss in a video game? A big enemy that's hard to get rid of and serves as a major challenge is the typical response. Arkham Asylum's bosses are pathetic. Scarecrow only serves as psychological fuckery, Killer Croc and Poison Ivy get pip-slapped with batarangs, Bane is the equivalent of stop hurting yourself, and the Joker is... Jesus Christ. Joker as the final boss is just awful. Brilliant setup, abysmal execution. Arkham Asylum is, if you're just completing the story mode, a fairly short game. The extra challenges in hunting down all the Riddler trophies does provide extra gameplay time despite the amount of padding. But hey, you get to learn about the supervillains through interview tapes and also the founder of the Asylum himself. The greatest things Arkham Asylum has going for it is its unique gameplay blend, atmosphere, and the psychological impact it has on the player. Assuming you're a critical thinker. And that ends the Edgeathon. It took me a bit longer to finish than what I had hoped, but it was still fun nonetheless. Up next, we're going to be taking a look at an independently made game called Stardew Valley. This has been Regnilla, and I will see you again next time. Take care, people.